Hi, my name is Variz, and this is my field study presentation for the class LBSC 707, which is basically the field study class. I am currently the Assistant Branch Manager in charge of Youth Services at Leonardtown Branch Library, which exists within the St. Mary's County Library System, and that means I'm in charge of all services and programming geared towards patrons age 19 and younger. So that includes young adults, children, and babies as well. For my field study, I went north up a bit towards Charles County, a completely different library system from my own, and I specifically did my field study at their newest branch, which is called Waldorf West. It was built, I think, just over 3 years ago, probably close to 4, and the reason I picked their branch is because they have a ton of team programming all the time, and I feel like that's the one area that the St. Mary's County Library System could really learn a lot about. Within the month of June, this past June, so June 2015, we had 60 children's programs, 13 adult programs, and only 2 teen programs. And this is in June, so they're out of school. So this would be the perfect time to grab them, and for whatever reason, it just wasn't happening. I'm pretty new to my position as assistant branch manager. I started it just this past April. And so I'm really trying to figure out how to make the best of this position and how to make the best out of our library system. And looking around, it looked like teen services might be the one area that we're really lacking. So I picked Waldorf West to be my library, to be my field study site, because they have a lot of teen programming going all the time. Monthly programming too, where they have repeat visitors and large numbers of teens coming all the time. This is something that in my system we just simply don't have. So I talked to their acting director, who at the time was Diane Johnson, who put me in touch with a man named Bill Stay, who is currently the he is currently the YA librarian at Waldorf West. So if I wanted to learn about teen services at Waldorf West, he seemed to be the best guy to do it. So I met with him, we talked a bit, and he agreed to be my supervisor for the field study. But before I talk about the specifics of my field study, I think it's important that we go over exactly what Bill and I decided should be the goals of the field study. So after talking with Bill a bit about our situation at St. Mary's County and what I really wanted to learn from Charles County and him at Waldorf West, we came up with 2 main goals for my field study. The first one was basically to learn as much as I can about how Waldorf West designs, implements, and promotes their team programming, and also for me to learn as much as I can about the differences in library procedure between the 2 library systems. There may be something St. Mary's County Library System can learn from following suit of Charles County. So then to do this, we came up with some assignments, and they were left a little vague depending on what type of programming I would be helping with. And you can see them right here, but basically they boil down to me helping him prepare the different content and materials for team programming, helping him research and organize. I helped with the live programming as needed. I helped him with the teen volunteer program, and I'll get into more detail about these later. And also additional assistance as needed basically means I sat at the different desks as well and performed regular library duties. So once we were done that, we came up with a schedule, and it basically meant every Saturday I spent a full day over there, which counted as 7 hours, and at least one weekday a week I would leave my work early and spend 4 hours there. It was a little tricky to get all 120 hours in within the deadline because I work full time, but we were able to finagle the schedule a bit to make it work. So now I'll spend a few minutes talking about the actual team programming that goes on all the time at Waldorf West and how I helped out. This right here is a poster for the Waldorf West Comic Book Club. They meet once a month. This is actually an older poster that I pulled off of their share drive. But they meet once a month, and as you can see here, sometimes they even have Skype interviews with actual comic book creators. They also work towards making their own comic book issues. They've actually made 4 already. Right here is actually some bookmarks that they've made with their different superhero personas. So if you can see, each one is their different names. It's a picture of them all comic book-fied, and below that is their powers and stuff like that. The one right there on the right-hand side, second one from the right, Black Khaki, his real name's Daniel, and he came to a couple of the meetings. He's really cool. Right here, this is actually Bill Stay, the man I've been telling you about, my supervisor. He also, for the part of the comic book club, they make trading cards with their faces on it and their superhero names and their comic book fied. So that's Bill Stay. Right here, there's Bill Stay, closest to us, and there they are for the film club, which is another program that I helped them with. It's similar to the comic book club where they meet once a month. They talk about film stuff, They watch films, and they also work towards making movies. That's what they're doing right there. And this is a close-up of, he looks, I don't know if he looks familiar to you, but that's actually the black khaki, Daniel, that I just mentioned. This kid's actually really funny. When he met me for the first time, Bill introduced me to the rest of the comic book club and said, oh, this is Eric from St. Mary's County. He's here to help us, help us out with the program and to learn from us. And Daniel comes up to me, he goes, hello. He goes, my name is Black Khaki, just save the universe. You're welcome. And he walked away. I thought that was pretty cool. But this is a great picture of him. I actually pulled it from a local newspaper. Right, this one, this next program is Comic Book Jeopardy. They have it not every month, but maybe every other month or so. It's set up like Jeopardy. They answer different comic book questions. This one is a Teen Retro Game Night. They basically have a bunch of TVs. As you can see, there's 3 in this room alone. And they play a bunch of different video games. Kids can bring in their own systems. There's systems there for them to play, different video game systems, but they can bring in their own if they want to. And it's actually super popular. What's cool, though, is that the library closes on 5. It closes at 5 on Fridays, but the program goes past that because they can put a big gate down in the lobby. So it's after hours, so it makes it even cooler for the teens. These are pictures of finches. They're little programmable robots. You can use Snap, I believe, a programming tool, to program them to talk, to light up their noses, to move around. They actually have little cameras on them as well. And we did that as a program, a coding program for teenagers. This is a poster for the Charles County Comic-Con, also known as C4. Comic-Con is basically a comic book convention, and just this past June, they held their first Comic-Con there, where they had a bunch of different events, all comic book related. They had a couple of Skype interviews with different comic book creators and artists, and they had Comic Book Jeopardy, and they even had a cosplay contest. In fact, right there, I wish there were more pictures of me, but that's okay. There I am dressed as a pirate, and the young lady next to me is actually one of the teen volunteers. She was dressed as a Harley Quinn, a Batman character. So there we are at the cosplay registration table. And this is a picture of 2 girls that actually won the cosplay contest. I should probably say cosplay is basically costume play. It's basically a costume contest where people come dressed up as their favorite characters, not just from comic books, but from different stuff. These 2 girls are dressed up as My Little Pony characters. So how exactly did I help? Well, I helped with the live team programming by basically being the second man in the room. I helped Bill with whatever he needed, if that was facilitating a discussion, helping him set up, or any other various way. And I also helped him create the materials for some of the programs, such as coming up with discussion prompts, or I also came up with a binder of different elements for use in the elementary superhero program, which meant they had to pick an element and design a hero based off of it. And I also came up with questions for the Battle of the Books program, which is like an academic decathlon. Now, what did I take away? Well, for me, the biggest thing I gained from this was so many ideas for future programs to take back to St. Mary's County. But not just that, but how to implement those programs. I discovered new ways to promote the team programming, which basically means make sure they have a fun time, and they'll tell their friends, and they'll tell their friends. And really, it definitely reaffirmed my belief in the importance of teen-specific library programs. They come for the program, and then they stay around in the library for the actual library services. It's very cool. Now, reflections. These are kind of my final thoughts. Bill told me if you feed them, they will come. Make sure at that first program you have some food. Oh, bring the kids in. When they have fun, you won't need the food in the future. Once again, I said positive word of mouth is the best way to get the teens in. It's really important to build that core group of teens. And then finally, if you have programs that lead to them building things or making something, they're going to come back. He told me they love to get challenged, and if it leads to them making something new, they're going to come again. Now, to be perfectly honest, the amount of stuff that I've learned within this field study, I don't think would fit within a 10-minute presentation. The stuff I mentioned in those 3 slides are really just kind of the bigger ideas that I want to take back to St. Mary's County, but the experience of working with Bill and working at Waldorf West, of implementing and designing aspects of these programs has been such a rewarding experience, and I've learned so much that I don't think I could fit it in this presentation. I'm going to take a lot of ideas back with me to St. Mary's County, and I'm very excited to see what becomes of it. We have team programming at St. Mary's County, but nothing on this level, and definitely nothing at this frequency with the regular number of high attendance from teenagers. It's just something we don't have. So I'm very excited to see what these ideas do when I take them back with me. And this pretty much ends this presentation. If any of you have any questions at all for me, feel free to send them my way, and I'll be very happy to answer them. I hope you guys have a good day. Bye.